Did you know that these 6 musicians almost died on stage? Musicians and danger go hand in hand. Since the very dawn of time, artists have been pushing their lives to the very edge, all in the name of entertainment. From Elvis Presley to Keith Moon, even to Gigi Allen, the tales of the most mythical musicians are brimming with highlights about them dancing with the devil and danger. And of these tales, many of them existed on stage, which is what we're going to run through today with 6 of the most notable. At number 1, it is of course Keith Richards. During a 1968 show in Sacramento, California, the Rolling Stones were performing the song The Last Time when Keith Richards noticed that his microphone was pointed the wrong way. It was coming to the point in the song where his backing vocals were fast approaching, so Richards tried to spin the microphone stand with the neck of his guitar. But the microphone wasn't grounded properly, so when Richards hit the neck of his guitar on the microphone stand, it basically turned into a massive lightning rod, sending a huge electrical pulse through his guitar and subsequently his body. A witness later recalled, "I was right there in the front row, in front of Keith. I saw the blue light. I literally saw Keith fly into the air backwards. I thought he was dead." Keith Richards was quickly rushed to hospital, where he drifted in and out of consciousness and things genuinely looked bleak for him. He even recalled overhearing a paramedic say, "Well, they either wake up or they don't." Unsurprisingly though, as he always does, Keith Richards survived and he lived to cheat death another day. Number 2 was another Keith and another rock and roll hellraiser. It was Keith Moon. It's absolutely no surprise that Keith Moon is on this list, as he has crafted a legacy of pushing things to the very, very edge. But he came very close to onstage death during a show in San Francisco when he took what he thought was tranquilizers, but actually turned out to be PCP. And that PCP made him pass out twice at the drum kit during the performance. But on the second time that it happened, the crew couldn't bring him round, so they quickly rushed him to hospital where he had his stomach pumped. The band stayed on the stage though, and all was not lost for them, as a fan called Scott Halpin came on and played the drum parts for The Who on that gig. As for Moon, he survived to live another day, but he didn't learn his lesson as he carried on raising hell throughout the rest of his life. And number 3 is Metallica's James Hetfield. While Hetfield has pushed his body to the limits over his career and regularly checked himself into rehab, it wasn't substance abuse that almost brought him his death, it was in fact on-stage pyrotechnics. When the thrash metal band were performing in Montreal, Canada in 1992, the frontman brazenly walked on stage straight into a set of pyrotechnics where he experienced 2nd and 3rd degree burns. While it was brutally painful for Hetfield, it was recoverable and he is still rocking hard. At number 4, it's Frank Zappa. In 1971, when the Mothers of Invention were playing the Rainbow Theatre in London, Zappa had a very close brush with death. The group were in the middle of performing the Beatles' I Wanna Hold Your Hand when a 24-year-old fan, Trevor Howell, came on stage and pushed Zappa off 15 feet from the ground straight into the concrete orchestra pit. At the time, Zappa was laid on the floor unconscious, and so rumours within the crowd started rapidly spreading. One witness remembered a chaotic scene ensued outside the Rainbow where the audience for the second concert were joined in the street by the audience from the first show. Wild rumours that Frank had been killed flashed through the massive crowd, and of upwards for at least half an hour no one knew what was happening. In Frank Zappa's memoir, The Real Frank Zappa book, he recalled, "The band thought I was dead, my head was over my shoulder and my neck was bent like it was broken. I had a gash in my chin, a hole in the back of my head, a broken rib and a fractured leg. One arm was paralysed." While he escaped death on this occasion, the accident still had a massive impact on Zappa's career. The fall actually crushed his larynx and changed his vocals forever, and fans can hear that shift on the track Cosmic Debris. As for Howell, he was swiftly charged with assault and malicious intent to commit bodily harm. But during his court hearing in 1972, he finally explained why it was that he pushed Zappa off a 15-foot stage. He simply said, "I did it because my girlfriend said she loved Frank." At number 5, it is Bill Berry. During a 1995 show in Switzerland, Berry collapsed on stage due to a ruptured brain aneurysm. While Berry did end up recovering, he left the band 2 years later in 1997, and he cited this, amongst many other reasons, as an indicator that being in a band just wasn't for him anymore. He said, "I didn't wake up one day and decide I just can't stand these guys anymore or anything. I feel like I'm ready for a life change. I'm still young enough that I can do something else. I've been pounding the tub since I was 9 years old. I'm just ready to do something else." And at number 6, it's Chris Rea. In one of the most recent examples, the late Chris Rea collapsed on stage in Oxford in 2017. It came on the 35th day of an absolutely grueling tour, and it was a result of a stroke that Rea had suffered the year before. Rea collapsed backwards during the middle of the song and was quickly rushed to hospital, where he recovered and carried on touring until his passing in 2025.